3 books that made me smarter, and how you can use them in 30 days. Reading can change a life, but only when the ideas move from the page into daily action. The books in this guide were chosen because each one teaches a different kind of intelligence, self-discipline, financial behavior, and human understanding. Atomic Habits focuses on systems and small, repeated actions. The Psychology of Money argues that money success depends more on behavior than raw intelligence. And The Laws of Human Nature explores recurring patterns in how people think and act. This ebook is built to be simple, practical, and easy to apply. Instead of giving abstract motivation, it turns the main lessons of these books into a 30-day path that helps build stronger habits, calmer money decisions, and better judgment in relationships and communication.
Many people read good books and still stay the same. They highlight lines, save quotes, and feel inspired for a few hours, but nothing really changes because information without action fades quickly. A book becomes powerful only when it shapes routines, choices, and behavior in real life. The idea behind this ebook is simple. Becoming smarter is not only about learning more facts, it is also about learning how to act with more control, how to manage money with more patience, and how to understand people with more clarity. These 3 forms of intelligence create a stronger person because they affect daily life, work, relationships, and long-term progress.
The first book, Atomic Habits, was published in 2018 and presents a system-based approach to behavior change, including ideas such as habit stacking and the 2-minute rule. The second book, The Psychology of Money, published in 2020, explains that financial outcomes are strongly shaped by emotions, patience, and behavior rather than technical knowledge alone. The third book, The Laws of Human Nature, examines recurring human tendencies across 18 laws and aims to improve judgment, self-awareness, and the ability to read people more clearly. This guide is organized into 5 chapters. The first 3 chapters focus on the core lessons from each book. The 4th chapter brings the 3 books together into one way of thinking. The 5th chapter turns the ideas into a 30-day practice that can be followed one day at a time.
Chapter 1. The Power of Small Discipline. The first book that can make a person smarter is Atomic Habits by James Clear, a 2018 book about habit formation and behavior change. Its central message is that lasting improvement does not come from huge, sudden effort, but from small, repeated actions that are easy to sustain over time. One of the strongest ideas in the book is that people do not rise to the level of their goals, they fall to the level of their systems. This shifts the focus away from intense motivation and toward daily structure. Goals can give direction, but systems decide what actually happens on ordinary days when energy is low and emotions are unstable. This is why small actions matter so much. Reading 10 pages a day may look weak compared to reading an entire book in a weekend, but 10 pages a day repeated for a month creates real momentum. The same applies to exercise, study, prayer, writing, saving money, or learning a skill. A small action that repeats can transform identity because it becomes evidence of the kind of person someone is becoming. The book also explains practical ideas such as habit stacking and the 2-minute rule. Habit stacking means attaching a new action to an existing routine, such as reading after morning coffee or reviewing notes after dinner. The 2-minute rule means making a new behavior so easy that it is almost impossible to resist, such as reading 1 page, opening the notebook, or writing 1 sentence. This matters because discipline is often misunderstood. Many people think discipline means always feeling strong, but real discipline is usually quiet and ordinary. It looks like showing up when the mood is gone. It looks like repeating a simple system until the system becomes part of life. The strength of discipline is not in dramatic effort, it is in consistency. In daily life, this chapter teaches one powerful truth. Intelligence grows when behavior becomes stable. A person who can manage the self can learn faster,
focus better, and build momentum with less emotional chaos. The smartest version of a person is often the most consistent version. Chapter 2. The Behavior Behind Money. The second book is The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, published in 2020. Its core argument is direct. Doing well with money has less to do with how smart someone is and more to do with how they behave. This idea matters because many people believe wealth is mainly the result of complex financial knowledge. The book challenges that belief by showing that emotions, ego, patience, fear, and personal history shape most money decisions. In real life, people do not make financial choices like machines. They make them in emotional situations, influenced by pride, pressure, insecurity, and short-term desire. One of the deepest lessons from this book is that wealth is what is not seen. Money kept, invested, or protected quietly often matters more than money displayed publicly. This shifts the image of success away from visible spending and toward invisible discipline. A person may look rich because of what is bought, but financial strength often comes from what is not wasted. Another major lesson is the role of patience. Good money decisions usually look boring. Saving consistently, avoiding stupid risks, and allowing time to do its work do not create dramatic stories, but they create stability. The book repeatedly shows that financial success is often less about brilliance and more about avoiding destructive behavior. This book also changes the relationship between identity and money. Instead of using money to impress others, it encourages using money to create freedom, space, and peace. That means less pressure to prove status and more focus on building choices for the future. The smartest use of money is often not attention, but independence. In practical terms, this chapter teaches restraint. It teaches that smart people can still make terrible money decisions if they cannot control emotion. It also teaches that ordinary people can build a strong financial life if they stay patient, avoid ego-driven mistakes, and follow a simple system over time. Chapter 4. What these three books teach together. Each of these books focuses on a different part of life, but together they form one complete framework for becoming smarter. Atomic Habits teaches self-management through systems, The Psychology of Money teaches behavior under financial pressure, and The Laws of Human Nature teaches awareness in social life. Taken together, these books show that intelligence is not only about information, it is about repeated behavior. A person becomes smarter by managing the self, managing money, and managing reactions to other people. This kind of intelligence is practical because it shapes ordinary decisions, not only big moments. The first shared lesson is that emotion without structure creates chaos. Without systems, habits collapse. Without patience, money decisions become reckless. Without self-awareness, social behavior becomes impulsive. In all three cases, progress depends on replacing reactive living with deliberate action. The second shared lesson is that small choices carry long consequences. A tiny habit repeated daily changes identity over time. A small amount saved consistently can create security. A small moment of emotional control can protect a relationship or avoid a major mistake. These books reject the fantasy that transformation must be dramatic. They show that quiet actions shape a powerful life. The third shared lesson is that maturity matters more than appearance. Looking disciplined is not the same as being disciplined. Looking wealthy is not the same as being financially secure. Looking confident is not the same as understanding people well. Real growth is usually less visible at first, but much stronger over time. This chapter brings the main message into focus. Being smarter is not a performance, it is a way of living. It appears in routines, in spending habits, in self-control, in silence, in patience, and in how someone reads situations before reacting to them.
Chapter 5. How to use these lessons in 30 days. A book becomes useful when it changes daily behavior. The best way to apply these 3 books is not to chase perfection, but to build a simple 30-day practice around them. That approach fits the system-based thinking of Atomic Habits, the behavior-based message of the psychology of money, and the observational discipline encouraged by the laws of human nature. During the first 10 days, the focus should be on discipline. Read a small amount every day, even if it is only 10 pages or less. Attach reading to a fixed moment, such as after waking up, after prayer, or before sleep. The goal is not speed. The goal is consistency, because consistency creates identity. During the next 10 days, the focus should be on money behavior. Track spending honestly and notice where emotion influences choices. Save a small amount before making non-essential purchases. This is not about becoming rich in 10 days. It is about learning to see money as behavior before seeing it as status. At the end of the 30 days, the most important result may not be finishing the books. The real result is becoming more aware of patterns. The reader begins to notice personal habits, financial impulses, and social reactions with more clarity. That awareness creates choice, and choice creates change. This is why the 30-day method works. It keeps the challenge simple enough to follow and meaningful enough to produce visible growth. Small systems improve discipline. Behavioral awareness improves money decisions, and careful observation improves relationships. Day by day, these gains begin to reinforce each other.
The smartest version of a person is rarely the loudest one. It is often the one with stronger systems, calmer money behavior, and deeper understanding of people. These qualities do not appear overnight, but they can grow quickly when daily action becomes intentional. Atomic Habits teaches that small, repeated actions can reshape life through better systems. The psychology of money teaches that financial success depends heavily on patience, restraint, and behavior. The laws of human nature teaches that clear observation and self-awareness improve judgment about both the self and others. Used together, these ideas create a practical form of intelligence that can be trained within 30 days and strengthened far beyond that. Reading the books is the first step. Living their lessons is where the transformation begins.